One humid afternoon, while Shizuku was sitting in the park under her favorite oak tree, something strange happened. The sunlight shimmered in a peculiar way through the leaves, casting an emerald glow over her and the watch. She felt a pulse, a vibration, as if the earth itself was calling to her. "Follow your heart," a whisper echoed in her mind. A sudden breeze blew the pages of her notebook open, and without thinking, Shizuku grabbed the watch. As soon as her fingers touched its smooth golden surface, the world around her began to blur. The park, the trees, and the city buildings all melted into a whirl of colors. When the spinning stopped, Shizuku found herself in the heart of a dense, vibrant jungle. Towering trees stretched toward the sky, their leaves shimmering in shades of green she had never seen before. Strange, melodious birds flew above, their songs blending into a symphony of nature. Her heart raced with excitement and a touch of fear. She had never been in a place like this, but something about the jungle felt familiar, like it had been calling to her for years. Ahead of her, a narrow path wound its way through the thick foliage. The jungle seemed to beckon her forward, and with a deep breath, Shizuku took her first step. The deeper Shizuku ventured into the jungle, the more she realized that this place was unlike anything she had ever read about. The trees whispered secrets as she passed, and the air was thick with the scent of jasmine and damp earth. But there was also something else, a faint melody that seemed to be coming from far away. As she followed the path, the jungle opened up to reveal a small village nestled among the trees. It was a peaceful place, with huts made from woven leaves and wood. The villagers moved gracefully, tending to the jungle with a deep respect for the land. One villager, a young man about Shizuku's age, caught her eye. He had kind eyes and a gentle smile, and when he approached her, Shizuku felt an instant connection. His name was Seiji Amasawa. "You're not from here, are you?" Seiji asked, his voice soft but curious. Shizuku shook her head, explaining how she had been transported to the jungle through the mysterious pocket watch. Seiji nodded thoughtfully. "This jungle has a way of calling people who have lost their way," he said. "It called me too, years ago." Shizuku was intrigued. "What do you mean?" Seiji led her to the village's central clearing, where an ancient tree stood. Its roots spread wide, intertwining with the ground beneath. The air around the tree was filled with a faint humming sound, almost like music. "This is the heart tree," Seiji explained. "It said that the tree is connected to the jungle's spirit. It listens to the dreams and hopes of those who wander here and helps guide them back to their true path." Shizuku felt a twinge of understanding. "Is that why the jungle sings?" Seiji nodded. "The jungle is alive with music, but only those who follow their heart can truly hear its song." Shizuku stayed in the village for a few days, learning from Seiji and the other villagers. They taught her about the jungle's delicate balance, how every plant, animal, and person played a role in maintaining harmony. She learned how to listen to the jungle's music, how to hear its whispers of guidance. But soon, it became clear that the jungle needed her help. The heart tree was wilting, its once vibrant leaves turning dull and brown. The villagers were worried, as the tree was the source of the jungle's life and music. "The tree is losing its song," Seiji said one evening as they sat beneath the stars. "And if it dies, the jungle will fall silent forever." Shizuku felt a pang in her chest. She couldn't let that happen. "What can we do?" Seiji explained that deep within the jungle lay a hidden temple, the Temple of Echoes. It was said to be the source of the jungle's music, and within it was a powerful stone called the Melody's Heart. If they could find the stone and return it to the heart tree, the tree might be restored. Determined to save the jungle, Shizuku agreed to embark on the journey. Together with Seiji and a small group of villagers, they set out into the unknown, following the faint melody that seemed to guide their way. The journey to the Temple of Echoes was fraught with challenges. The jungle tested them at every turn, throwing obstacles in their path. They encountered fierce storms, wild animals, and treacherous terrain. But through it all, Shizuku remained steadfast, her heart focused on the goal. At one point, they reached a wide river with no visible way to cross. The current was strong, and the water teemed with dangerous creatures. As the group pondered what to do, Shizuku closed her eyes and listened. The jungle song was faint, but it was there, guiding her. "We need to build a raft," she said, surprising even herself with her certainty. The villagers worked together, following Shizuku's lead, and soon they had a sturdy raft to carry them across the river. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when Shizuku doubted herself, but with Seiji's encouragement and the jungle's melody in her heart, they made it safely to the other side. After days of travel, the group finally reached the Temple of Echoes. It was a grand structure, hidden beneath layers of vines and moss, its stone walls etched with ancient symbols. The air was thick with a heavy, reverberating sound, like the beating of a distant drum. Inside the temple, they found a vast hall filled with strange, musical instruments. The walls seemed to hum with energy, and in the center of the room stood a pedestal, upon which rested the melody's heart, a glowing stone that pulsed with rhythm. As Shizuku approached the stone, she felt a deep connection to it, as if the music within it resonated with her very soul. But just as she reached out to take it, the temple began to shake. The walls trembled, and the instruments clanged together, creating a chaotic cacophony. "It's testing you," Seiji shouted over the noise. "You have to calm the music." Shizuku closed her eyes, tuning out the chaos around her. She focused on the jungle's melody, on the gentle hum of the heart tree, and the rhythm of the earth beneath her feet. Slowly the noise began to fade, replaced by a soft, harmonious tune. When she opened her eyes, the temple was still, and the melody's heart glowed brighter than ever. Shizuku carefully took the stone and held it close to her chest. With the melody's heart in hand, the group made their way back to the village. The journey was quicker this time, as the jungle seemed to guide them, its music growing stronger with each step. When they arrived, they placed the stone at the base of the heart tree. For a moment, nothing happened, and the villagers held their breath. Then, slowly, the tree began to glow with a soft light. Its leaves turned vibrant green once more, and the jungle's song filled the air. Stronger and more beautiful than ever. The villagers cheered, and Seiji smiled at Shizuku. "You did it." Shizuku shook her head. "We did it. The jungle did it." As the village celebrated, Shizuku realized that her journey wasn't just about saving the heart tree. It was about finding her own heart, about learning to trust herself and the world around her. The jungle had taught her that when you follow your heart, the world sings with you. And as she looked out over the jungle, its melody filling her soul, Shizuku knew that she had found her true path.